Shop Macy's VIP sale, going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
All right, now we're going to talk a lot. Downtown Billings, it is 6:33, 39 degrees. A little chilly out there this morning as we look at First News. Fair, accurate, you get the damn truth. The Israeli military has warned people to evacuate 24 Lebanese border communities. They have launched what they call a limited ground incursion against the Hezbollah terrorists. Now, Hezbollah denied troops have entered, but said they're ready to battle them. The military advised people to evacuate 36 miles away from the town they are going to go in. Israel's been seeing a lot of military wins lately, including killing 7 of the top 10 terrorist leaders. Joe Biden said he is going to survey the devastation in North Carolina. It'll go down about Wednesday or Thursday. Water, food, and other supplies being airlifted in there. The death toll has reached 133. Officials are worrying that toll's going to rise. Forecasters keeping an eye on another tropical storm out there, Kirk. It's expected to become another hurricane possibly by the end of the week. Now, on the other hand, former President Trump, Donald Trump, was down in North Carolina yesterday talking to the people of their state, brought with him tankers full of fuel, is getting Elon Musk to help him establish communications so cell service can be boosted once again with satellite trucks. He was already on scene there yesterday trying to help. Officials in Thailand said a bus carrying young students and teachers caught fire outside of Bangkok, and 23 on those on board feared dead. There were 44 passengers. They were on a school trip. Students on the bus were reported to be in elementary and junior high. Republicans all around the country and Americans also worried about the new figures released from ICE on immigration in this country. They were devastating when we got the news this week about all of the people convicted of crimes that have been released on our streets. 662,556 convicted of crime were turned loose. Figures, according to ICE, were very serious. 13,099 convicted of homicide turned loose on our streets. 15,811 for sexual assault turned loose on our street. 13,000 weapon offenders. 2,663 stolen vehicle convictions turned loose on the street. Assault, over 62,000 of these serious assault charges turned loose on our streets. Dangerous drugs, 56,533. Democrats said it all didn't happen in the last 2 or 3 years under Harris and Biden. Keep this in mind, folks. The Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years. Oh, and by the way, as we continue to force Israel to cease fire and stop fighting the terrorists, we continue to send billions of dollars into the Ukraine. And we are funding the main country in the world responsible for all the equipment and terrorism going on over there, Iran. And now Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to send more of your brave men and women to the Middle East to help defend Israel if necessary. Yeah, 2,000 more troops will be heading to the region. We now have 43,000 of your young, brave men and women over there, while we continue to send billions of dollars into Iran that could possibly use all of their missiles and jets and military hardware to kill our people. It makes no sense. We have not opened up the Red Sea yet. They continue to shoot at our ships every day with no repercussions. We haven't taken out any of their missile sites or any of their launch facilities that they're using, and we're paying for them. Claudia Sheinbaum will take the oath of office as Mexico's first female president in 200 years of independence. She's 62. She was a scientist turned politician, and she gets a country that has a lot of immediate challenges, high levels of violence, sluggish economy, hurricane-battered regions. She won with 60% of the vote. Vice presidential candidate Tim Walz and J.D. Vance will meet for their first and possibly only vice presidential debate tonight. That'll be on CBS. You know how that's going to go. It really has no major impact on how people vote for president anyway. New report out yesterday found that 6,000 people in Haiti are starving to death. Half of the country's population, which has 11 million, experiencing crisis levels of hunger. Gang violence is smothering their capital of Port-au-Prince and beyond. Haitians are facing all kinds of problems there. The corruption in Haiti is unbelievable. We sent billions and billions there years ago when they were hit by a hurricane and earthquake back in 2021. And the storm that hit there, Category 4, was in 2016. That was Hurricane Matthew. But gangs got most of the money. Dock workers in Maine and Texas, they're going on strike. It's not fair. They make an average of between $80,000 and $200,000 a year, and they are demanding a 77% increase, folks, over the next 6 years. Biden administration won't intervene. They could order a cooling down period. By law, they can do the Taft-Hartley Act, but they haven't yet. 45,000 members, the lowest of them making $81,000 a year, want a 77% increase over the next 6 years. Why, the upper salaries would go from $200,000 to $351,000. You think that's going to add costs to what you pay at the store? Japan's parliament has elected Shigeru Ishiba, their new prime minister. He's tasked with addressing public outrage over corruption scandals in their government, also trying to boost the economy and tackle security challenges now from China and North Korea, as weak leadership in the United States has now paved the way for China and North Korea. Also, they're on the move too, folks. They know there's no repercussions. China's prime minister said we have to increase our military capability. The U.S. is still struggling to replant forests destroyed by destructive wildfires, according to researchers. Some of these species, they said, are likely not to survive if we don't become more aggressive. Researchers say the U.S. lacks enough seed collection and nursery capacity to grow seedlings. Folks, we never replanted a forest for 4.55 billion years, and they always came back. Mm-hmm. Have you ever driven, folks, up Highway 87 and seen the trees that have regrown since the Bull Mountain fire back in 84? Mother Nature takes care of it, but Forest Service gets a lot of money, and they keep a lot of people working. Wall Street closed their latest winning month with records yesterday. The S&P climbed to an all-time high, was up 0.4 of a point. The Dow added only 17 points. NASDAQ was up 0.4 of a point yesterday. Worried about interest rates, inflation, payrolls. Goldman Sachs economists said they're expecting the hiring report on Friday to show it was much stronger, like they always talk about before we get the original numbers. Inflation in the 20 countries that use the euro fell to 1.8% in September. That's below the 2% rise they had been expecting. Sony's PlayStation Network is down. Oh no, frustrating gamers around the world. Mom, my PlayStation is down. I can't play before I go to take my journalism classes at UM. Can you, Mom, PlayStation was down, yippee skippy. People were having trouble logging in and creating accounts yesterday, Mark, with PlayStation. They're working to resolve the issue, but sweetheart, you're just going to have to go outside and play until your class this morning at UM. They made a big news story out of that. Mm-hmm. Here closer to home, Native Americans who live in some of the reservations around Montana filed a lawsuit against Montana and county officials. They said they don't have enough places to vote. The latest chapter in a struggle, the 6 members of the Fort Peck Indian Reservation, they want satellite voting offices in their communities for late registration or to vote before Election Day so they don't have to make a long drive. The legal challenges come 5 weeks before the election. Montana's ballot has a pivotal U.S. Senate race on there, but they said it's just too hard to reach their election offices. So there's some small communities near the Canadian border that want to get more satellite stations set up. Some of them have at least a 60-mile round trip to vote, and they think that's too far. It's just not the gas money. It's actually having a vehicle that runs, according to some, and it's just too tough. Well, you can vote absentee. Mm-hmm. That's another option that you can get.
What's your round trip 5 days a week?
Yeah, exactly. People in Jordan, they all got to travel. Everybody, there's a lot of people in Montana that have to travel a long way to vote. Mm-hmm. 81-year-old Montana man was sentenced to 6 months in federal prison, asked to pay $24,000 because he used testicles from large sheep hunted in Central Asia to try to create a hybrid sheep here. Jack Schubarth was sentenced Monday. Brian Morris is the friend of the animal. Mm-hmm. He's the one that put the sentence on him. And 6 months in federal prison and fined. And look, I just gave you all the numbers of the illegal immigrants that are roaming the streets. Mm-hmm. Here's a guy that was playing with some sheep balls and trying to make an... And he's going to federal prison.
Yeah.
All these sexual offenders and predators, murder, they're all in the streets. But they got this guy. He's in jail. And already the longest lived out of the 45 men who have ever served as president, Jimmy Carter, is 100 years old today. He's seen the U.S. population triple in his tenure here on this planet. There were 114 million people in the United States when he was born in 1924. There's 330 million now. And Carter, he's a tough old bird. He's been in hospice care for I don't know how long. And he's still doing things, going out, celebrating life, and very active in his charitable work. His wife, Rosalind, died last year. She was 96. She was also born in Plains, Georgia, where Jimmy Carter was born. He lived 80 of his 100 years there, but turns 100 years old today. Cat Country News Time is 6:46. Sports and weather next.
In sports, Major League Baseball playoffs, now we know who's playing who and best of 3 and best of 5 and all that. Jersey sales for the second straight year, Shohei Ohtani sold the most jerseys, followed then by Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge, and Mookie Betts. Also from baseball yesterday, Cubs outfielder Ian Happ, on the last game of the season, bought beers for every fan in the left field to support them or to thank them for supporting him all season long.
Oh, yeah?
That whole section, get him a beer on me.
There you go.
And Paul, this is one for those of us that don't know what to think of LeBron James' son joining him on the Lakers. Here's a quote attributed to him. Magic Johnson said that Bronny doesn't have what it takes to play for the Lakers, and the new season's just around the corner. Bronny says there's no if here. Magic Johnson will never be me. He'll never understand the skills that my dad and I have honed together because we're the ultimate father-son duo in the upcoming season. I get that Magic is a Lakers legend, but let's be real. He's getting old, and it's time for the stars to shine.
Really? Okay, Bronny.
You little punk.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
I don't even play, and I can't wait to foul you.
Oh, I know. Wow. Even Anthony Davis said the Lakers wasted a pick on him.
Yeah.
So that'll start some tension. 78 degrees today, folks, for the high. Now, yesterday we hit 61. Average temperature this time of year is right around 67. So we're going to be above average today and tomorrow. And then as we get to Thursday, 64, which is below average. And then Friday we go above average again. And that's how you get averages. It's 39 out there right now, a little chilly. 6:49, that's what's happening. Mark and Paul here together. Thanks for tuning into The Cat. The app's up and running. Round the world, you're listening to Cat Country 102.9.